Just about ready. And there they go. Oh, perfectly synced up right off the bat. Alright, starting out how you always want a Mega Man game to start out with. A 36-second unskippable cutscene, because why not? Sure does look cool though. And the entire intro stage is really pretty much completely straightforward. You just dash a lot, you shoot a lot, and then X gets bopped and Zero comes to save the day. And then you never see Zero again, unfortunately. Well, except for later. Everyone knows this is the most memorable Mega Man X character, Mac. Who doesn't remember good old Mac? Turns out he was pulling the strings all along. Now we see the only significant section of gameplay involving Zero and his humongous wonky hitbox. See Eve actually using the saber there to get a little bit of extra height. Getting in the door at pretty much exactly the same time. Yeah, I like the name Mac Daddy a little bit better. Let's go with that. And back to X we go, and that is pretty much the only real gameplay you'll be seeing of Zero this entire run. Although there is a ROM hack out there that you can play as Zero the entire time. What the hell is in my pocket? And first small section of RNG for this run is with this boss, and the RNG is depending on where he wants to punch. Sometimes he'll just punch constantly straight down off to the side. Other times he will just suddenly he just wants to give you the sock and boppers. Unfortunately, it looks like Baldo actually was getting punched a little bit there. He doesn't get hit much, but he was still disrupting the pattern. Eve taking a slight lead. Very slight. Still largely the same. Moving on to the first stage of the run, first real stage, Buffalo, which has a lot of strange properties in it. Mostly involving the ice physics, and you can see how incredibly fast you go. You want to maintain that speed from those ice slopes as much as possible. Another thing you'll notice is that Eve actually did a normal jump. He actually turned around and did a slope jump despite not being a slope there. And for whatever reason, ice physics in this game are glitched to where if you walk to the left and jump, it will always count as a slope jump. So you can get over some edges. Like Eve actually just tried to use one right there. Unfortunately, he didn't quite get it, but that's perfectly alright. Rip in pieces that gap. Baldo now has a slight lead, but not. It's pretty much by frames. And moving on to pretty much the only item, one of two items you get in the game, unless you decide to go for some of these safety items. And that is it's pretty much specifically only for the vertical dash for use with the elevator skip later on in the run. I actually don't think there's... I'm sure there is, and I'm just not remembering right now because I'm an idiot and I have a really bad memory. And now you get to see what Mega Man X3 is all about. Looping bosses. In his case, it's really, really severely broken. Actually, looks like Baldo did drop it a little bit there. So, from what I remember, what I know at least, Blizzard Buffalo's AI is glitched in such a way that if you jump right above him right as he turns around, it'll trick him into thinking you're on the other side of him. And if you're on the other side of him, he'll always charge. He'll turn around and charge at you. So if you jump in place like that and time it right, he'll actually turn around and just constantly ram himself into the wall over and over again. And EaB, actually, you saw that he was alternating between normal shots and charge shots. And that is called a CFO strat. It's named after the intro boss of Mega Man X2. That is where you hit him with a charge blast, dash away. What happened there? Oh dear, EaB. Seems he went to the wrong stage. That's not good. Thankfully, Mega Man X games, on soft resets, they do actually save your password. So, thankfully, if you do miss a stage select, you can just reset and go back and immediately have the password loaded in. That is considered completely fine to do. Since you're not manually putting the password in, you're pretty much just continuing where you left off. And unfortunately, that puts EaB a very significant amount behind. Got the hole-in-one there. You'd actually, normally you'd have to land on the little platform back there and dash off of it, but you can, if you dash as close to the ceiling on this little ledge that EaB's on right there, you can actually make your way right into that hole without stopping at all. And it saves a little tiny bit of time. Baldo actually opting to go ahead and use the mini-boss's weakness, despite the main boss, Toxic Seahorse, actually having the same weakness. So you do run the risk of running out of ammo on him. I don't think anyone would care too much, Steve. Honestly, most would probably find it just funny. Ooh, that's gonna send him back quite a ways. He's actually gonna have to completely fight the mini-boss again. Unfortunately, with some of the longer stages in this game, such as Seahorse and Rhino, if you die towards the end of the stage, you actually are sent back quite a ways. In this case, you saw how far he got sent back, and in Rhino's stage, it's actually even worse. I missed explaining it with EaB. I'll go ahead and explain it when Baldo gets to it with the Seahorse quick kill there. Although I'd imagine most people watching at this point probably get the general idea of what's going on there. Who is this mysterious Maverick? Oh wait, he's not on screen yet. Did I just spoil it? Who is this mysterious Maverick? Ignore that I said it earlier. Baldo now is going to be going into the Seahorse fight. And his iframes in particular are very badly glitched, in that if you hit him with his weakness, the latter half of his iframes actually completely don't function, so you can just mash him down on a per frame basis. So every frame you can hit him. Just really cutting it close there. There's some variation in that, and depending on the initial stun shot, depending on how high that is, his high frames are longer the higher the jump is with the initial shot. So you want to hit him at the very top height of his jump with the first shot. Looks like EaB is not going to be getting bit in Rhino, thankfully. Generally speaking, most people don't really ever want to have Bit and Rhino, simply because you really need to conserve your health. Unfortunately, Eve is actually going to have to go for the health capsule of shame here. And this mini-boss right here is the prime reason why you really, really don't want to lose health at all on the stage. Because the quickest method of killing him is to jump on his lower half that you can stand on and just mash away as fast as you can. You actually see Baldo there just clip through that dragonfly, and that's solely due to X's hitbox being smaller while he's dashing. Whether it's vertical dashing or horizontal dashing, his hitbox is smaller. It allows him to clip through slightly tighter spaces there. Not getting the 1 cycle, but a 2 cycle is honestly not bad at all. Now Eve moving on to Rhino himself, which is another... He can be fairly dangerous with his juking, especially if you ended up... That was pretty slick. I like the vertical acid strats. That's nice. That was a very strange pattern he just got. And you really don't ever want to hit Rhino with anything other than direct acid. You notice when the acid hits the ground, it splits off into 4 little drops. Those little drops actually only do 2 damage for whatever reason. But the bigger main acid shot, if it hits directly, does 3. You definitely don't want to miss time any of your shots, and Baldo actually got bit in Tiger, which is a pretty good place to get him. And the reason he did not just flat out finish him off with a weakness is because the explosions in this game are 5 years long, and no one has that kind of time. And if you kill both Bit and Bite with their weaknesses, you fight one of the worst bosses in the history of mankind. Baldo going to be moving into Tiger's fight, which is probably the most significant point of RNG in this entire run. What he's doing for Baldo right now is what you want him to do the entire time. You either want him to sit on the ground shooting at you, or just go in circles like that. He's in a bit of an awkward position here where he's pretty much guaranteed to take a hit. However, this pattern is holding up. It looks like Baldo more or less almost missed 1 shot short of getting an actual God Tiger, which is fairly rare to see. And I don't remember the exact time, but I believe those dashes cost around 3 seconds each at least. I might be wrong on that. Thankfully, 2 dashes is still not a terrible fight. It's really annoying that that happened right at the end of the fight, but what can you do, man? It's just like, that's just luck. Baldo now going to be moving into Rhino himself. The absolute worst stage in history. Let's see what kind of pattern Eve gets here from Tiger. Looks like he's actually going to go ahead and get a sub-tank there. It wastes probably around 3 or 4 seconds to get that sub-tank since it's just right there. It is definitely the safest and easiest safety item to get, since it wastes so little time. Unfortunately, Eve is not getting a good pattern at all. And just in case I sound like I may be slurring my words a little bit, I am extremely tired right now. In fact, I'm like lightheaded. so I apologize if I suddenly pass out. Eve should be moving on to Catfish, which I don't believe he got bit in either Tiger or Rhino, so he's going to be getting him in Catfish, which is probably the most ideal place to get him, honestly. Either here or Tiger, but generally I would say get him here. Just because there are health drops to help mitigate a little bit any kind of health you lose here, and Tiger is always a little dangerous to fight with low health. Not seeing I don't even remember what it's called. It's a very special strat. We will see Baldo go for it. Yes, this is single elimination. There are no loser brackets for this. It's from the quarterfinals onward. It is single elimination, best of 3. EaB taking very quick work of Bit, who is very easily manipulated, much like most things in this game. You can pretty much force him into jumping at the exact height you need him to hit him perfectly without taking damage. EaB himself is now making his way through Catfish. And another significant point of RNG is the Catfish fight himself. The general fastest way to fight him is to keep hitting him with buster charge shots like that as much as you can until he goes into his desperation moves, which is right here. And once he does that, he actually is completely invulnerable to anything that is not the drills. It actually was not a terrible fight. That was 5 drills. And it is possible to get a fight with Catfish that is 0 drills, although technically it is faster to get a 1 drill fight. And the way to do that is completely RNG. You have to get a specific pattern from where you can force him into jumping into the wall over and over again, and that's another point of RNG is how many times he jumps into the wall. That actually might be a bigger point of RNG for really high level runs than even Tiger is, because that's a lot of time to save there. If you get say a 1 drill over a 5 drill, that's what, 12 seconds? My favorite Mega Man song is Mega Man 7 Wily Stage 1. I think that is one of the best songs in the entire franchise. But Mega Man 7 in general just had a pretty fantastic soundtrack. Now EaB is going to make his way down into the mysterious Maverick stage. Who could he be? We all know who he is. Oh, a bit of bad luck on the drop there. The trash that drops here is complete RNG. There's no way to predict it. Pretty much your best bet is just start firing off triads and hope it comes out in time. and the mysterious Maverick is revealed. It was Vile all along. Fortunately, he's a complete idiot and likes to stand in place and do the same thing. And the strat with him is to fire off 4 charge shots, 5 or 6 if you want to go for safety, and then finish off the rest of the fight with the Neon Splasher. You should have exactly enough ammo to be able to beat him. And in order to get the Saber later on in the run, you have to kill Vile with his weakness. And he has 2 weaknesses: Neon Splash and Spinning Blades. You have to kill him and get the final shot with his weakness. Otherwise, he actually does not die. He just teleports out. And that gives you a completely different Doppler Stage 2, actually. Not only do you have a much harder boss, but you actually cannot get the Saber, like I said. So you cannot do the elevator skip, which is another massive time loss if you don't do that. Both of them very quickly making their way through Vile. Eve coming up on Crawfish. And just a little bit. There is a funny little... I guess it's kind of like an interactive cutscene, more or less. You gotta blow up the generator and it completely flips the submarine. Yeah, I love that song. Most of the music in that game is really good, but that one in particular stands out. And with Crawfish, he is actually glitched in much the same way that Seahorse is. The latter half of his invincibility frames completely don't function. I believe it's 120 frames. And you can see... Oh dear. So what just happened there, he thankfully got out of it really fast, but what happened there, you saw him float there, was if you hit Crawfish on the same with his weakness on the same frame that he grabs you, you'll actually just freeze X in the air. He'll just be stuck in limbo until Crawfish decides he wants to actually attack him. He could knock you out of it instantly, or you could just be completely soft lock where he doesn't do anything. It's pretty much all up to luck if that actually happens to you. A part of me's happy that just happened so people can see that, at least catch a glimpse of it. Keep going with these buster strats. I very much approve over using the spinning blades. That's a pretty good example of just how broken his iframes are. You can just mash them down the buster right there. This is a beautiful section. Oh, no, there it goes. That was quite the outside section there. I've actually never seen acid used there. And since I didn't talk about it, Baldo is going to be moving into Beetle. It's probably one of the most straightforward stages in the game, and he's actually going to be using the spinning blades, and you can get a pretty good idea of how powerful these things are. They one-shot most normal enemies in the game. If not one-shot, then two-shot. The only things I can think of that they don't immediately kill are the chickens, which are the red things that throw the spiky balls at you. Now we got this guy. Good old bite. And pretty much the same deal with him. Just hit him with the Buster Shot first. Oh, you want to talk about trying not to fall asleep? I have been awake for far too long. I like Eve's strat of just go nuts. Spaz out, boy, yeah! Dropping them burts. Gotta love that. Something to note about the vertical dash is it has a wonderful tendency to just not work sometimes. I don't think it's a glitch. I think it's more of just even the slightest like horizontal D-pad movement will cancel the animation for it before it gets started. And it kind of sucks. I'm a bit of a goof there. He was now on the very last Maverick, Hornets. It's another fairly straightforward stage, although it does have one notable thing in it. That thing being this mini-boss he's going into now, and it is one of only 2 mini-bosses, if you count Mac as a mini-boss in the game, that has actual functioning iframes, so you can't just mash it down. You do have to time your shots correctly. And its weakness is acid, which takes it down very quickly. That is his input reads. That's basically, you can see what buttons he's pressing. He is playing on an emulator, I believe. Well, not I believe, he is playing on an emulator. Probably not much to talk about with that Beetle fight, with Gravity Beetle's fight. He's the same as every other X3 boss, where if you hit him with his weakness, he does one specific thing, and if you hit him again, he does that specific thing again. Most enemies will jump at you. They will rush you, they will jump at you, they will do something, but they always just loop themselves. Every single Maverick in this game, of the 8 bosses, has an AI loop that you can exploit with her weakness. And normally with Blast Hornet, his actual weakness is Gravity Well, but that's really slow and it causes a lot of iframes. Well, not iframes, but it just takes forever to do the damage. So it's way quicker to hit him with the spinning blades, which are actually a soft weakness. So they do 2 damage, but they don't activate a weakness iframe. So you can pretty much just get through this boss pretty quickly. Yeah, that is true. Somebody does make input displays specifically for consoles. I would love to get one of those at some point. But that would be, you know, if I need to actually start playing video games again involving speedrunning. Baldo currently going through one of the most potentially laggy stages of the game, or parts of the game. The average runtime is around 40 to 45 minutes. You are playing with fire there, Baldo. You got really close to some spikes, boy. Be a little careful there, son. Gonna give me a heart attack. Usually it won't go above 50 minutes unless something like disastrous happens. But honestly, with this game, considering some of the late game stuff you have to do, I wouldn't put it past it. Not having the hottest Hornet fight here. Need to be very, very, very careful. He's taking a lot of damage. Oh no, he had a backup. There's that sub tank. That's why you picked that up. Safety, son. We'll get a load of this guy, the great Sir Nico. Command mission's pretty cool. It actually is, like, considering it's the kind of game that never should have worked. It worked. And one of the most dangerous bosses in the game, in my opinion, just because a slight little movement mistake and you are instantly dead. Those hands do a total of 18 damage, which is, if you count it all as one attack, that is the most of any attack in the game. His saber hits take off 8 damage, which is half of X's initial HP. So if you're anywhere at the halfway mark on your health, you're in instant death territory. And if he grabs you, it does 18 damage in 3 increments of 6. So he grabs you, that's 6 damage. He punches you, that's 6 damage, and he throws you into the ceiling. That's another 6 damage. The only way to survive that is if you have a sub tank and you use it right in the middle of it, or if you have at least 2 hearts. And now it's time for the hardest stage in the game, for Eve at least. He's going to be switching to Zero here to fight the Mosquito mini-boss. And it is actually the only boss you can fight in the game as Zero. And you specifically need to kill him as Zero, so he kills Zero. Well, doesn't kill him, he just flies into him and weirdly humps him sometimes. Yeah, kind of like that. Wow. That went on for quite a while. He really was feeling frisky. Baldo in a bit better position with his health on this boss. He can take at least 2 hits. However, he cannot be grabbed. That is still an instant death. And now Eve has the saber, so you're going to be seeing what's that weird, like, little, I don't even know what that was. So you're going to be seeing the elevator climb here, which is a sequence of very specific damage boosts in Saber Neon. That was a very, very strange Neon. And easy every time. He makes it look easy, but that is an amazingly difficult trick. At least it is to me, but I'm a bad kid, so don't listen to me. Okay, I'll take a detour here. EaBTasRaiul? That is actually not confirmed. There are several people who are very well known in the game collecting community who actually said that they remember seeing that game in stores. Several have bought it from Walmart even. So that is actually a very, very unsubstantiated rumor in regards to Hagane being a Blockbuster exclusive. It may have been a timed exclusive. However, it is still a very rare game. Can't really get past that. Boys, do you want to play Hagane? Do you want to pay $400 to $500 for a cartridge? Boy, howdy do I got a game for you. No, I don't want to emulate stuff. I'm an idiot and I'm bad with money. I've already sold my soul and started collecting Super Nintendo games years ago. Trust me. I'm an Earthbound fan. That's like I'm obligated to be terrible with money. Oh, actually starting to get a little bit there. What is this helmet doing? Nah. I actually tend to only get games loose, mostly because Super Nintendo boxes and manuals are really, really expensive. I mean, don't get me wrong, I went out of my way to get my favorites. There are no X1 races because the tournament was quite a while ago. This is specifically a Mega Man X3 tournament. The Mega Man X1 tournament and X2 tournaments were already long since over. Yeah, the X1 tournament was pretty hefty. A lot of people on that one. Louise did. Because, of course, I'm pretty sure Louise won both X1 and X2. I wouldn't be surprised if there were more X tournaments. I believe after this, though, I believe an X4 tournament is on the cards. Which I'd imagine we'll see a lot more entrants than X3. But I wouldn't be surprised to see another X1 or X2 tournament. Definitely X1. That game's big enough to where, you know, you'll always have newer runners wanting to play it. There'll always be a demand for that kind of thing. Yeah, an X1 any percent tournament would be good. Speaking of X1, you should all go congratulate Baba. Go congratulate Baba since he actually just took the world record for X1 100% from Louise. There will be another X1 tourney down somewhere down the road. Don't worry. His name is Baba Nemix. His Twitch name for a while was Potato Surge. He got a 35:05. That was about a half second faster than Louise's record. I believe he just got that this morning. I've been very distracted talking to chat, which I guess isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, this is a pretty straightforward thing that's going on with these refights. That is just about the worst thing that can happen that just happened to Baldo. He's pretty much going to have to finish him with the drills now. I mean, he could actually wait. It actually might be quicker for him to actually wait out the desperation attack and just smack him with a saber, and then that slight little window he has after it's over. But it's way less safe. No, that's Caleb. That is Caleb Hart. Yeah, Luis, he only uses mic, no webcams. The only time I've actually seen him is in specific, like, Brazilian speedrun marathons. And that was only a couple of times. Good old Kaiser. Free. Every time. He's so hard when he's so hard casually, but when you get the Saber, he basically turns into the easiest boss in the game. Yeah, Caleb used to pretty much exclusively run Mega Man X1 100%, but he has over time branched out into a lot of different games. Go for it. Go for it, Steve. Very nice quick kill there from Baldo. Nah, let's be honest. Doppler was probably using McAfee. Only the finest. Looks like Eve is taking game 1, so I probably should comment on that. Gotta be a little careful there. He does hit like a truck. They will be doing another race after this. This is a best of 3. Excuse the sniffs. Baldo now moving in to fight Captain America himself. Oh dear, he missed one. That's not good. Thankfully, he actually did have a sub-tank there, so he should be fairly safe. That's not good. Oh dear. That's pretty much the risk you run with any percent in X3, because everything just kills you in 2 hits. Probably. Oh, hey, big Sam. There you go. Wow, how'd that not hit? There you go. That's how that fight's supposed to go. Wait, is there a Metroid Zero Mission randomizer? Well, we need to have a Mega Man X randomizer tournament. Oh yeah. And that will close out game 1. Not sure if... Oh yeah, we got a rematch set up immediately. Alright, we're going to be getting this going. And... we do have more X3 coming up. This is a best of 3 series, so we still have at least one more race going on. And before this next one starts, I really need to use the bathroom. Oh god. Alright, apologize. But I did not want my everything to explode in piss. You heard me, pizza. And they're off. Well, not quite yet. And yet they go. They're off. They're back on that bullshit again. Oh, excuse me. No one kind of snuck up on me. And now we're back to the intro. Back to cutscenes, or back to 0, or back to X being a little pansy. Yes, Baldo, make me stay up longer. It has already been well over 24 hours. I can handle a little more. That would be very much appreciated, Invoice. Baldo taking a small lead here already. Because I've lost control of my life, Steve. I'm not even going to try and pre-order one of those things. I ain't going to try and play that game. I'm going to sneak my way into the local GameStop on the day they come out, like a snake, and just buy one. I live in rural Ohio. Nobody wants the things. Anyway, the intro stage is done. They're pretty much still completely tied. Eve has a slight lead. And they're off to Buffalo. AKA, they're the funnest stage in the game, honestly. Seriously. The stage is really, really fun to play. Look how fast it is. So fast. No, not Amish. The closest thing to being in Ohio, it's like Ohio's like the Russia of the US. It's run down and depressing. Nintendo does not intentionally lower their stock. They're just completely idiotic as to the real demand of their products. I figured he lived in LA. Oh dear, I gotta reload the stream here. My computer is not happy with me. What are you doing, computer? There it goes. Well, I'm only aware of Jake Paul because he's apparently an asshole. I've never actually even watched any of his videos or listened to his music, and I probably never will because I'm not supporting that person. Ding. Dong. Alright, he actually got to the right stage this time. Yeah, don't go to Cleveland. A much smarter idea. Don't go to Cleveland. I haven't even been to Cleveland, and even I don't want to go to Cleveland. But I've heard the stories. Ohio does have a couple of like amusement parks that are pretty cool. But that's about it. I'll give you a hint as to what town I'm from, Steve. We're known specifically and solely for getting annihilated by a tornado. Oh boy, yeah. It's particularly bad around this area, Mike. It's there are toddlers overdosing on heroin in America Grand. Pretty much completely tied here. Wow. Only a very, very slight lead for Baldo. Pretty clean kill all around. Yeah, it's about as close as you can get. I believe their routes are going to deviate now. I believe Baldo does go to Tiger third. Eve goes to Rhino third. Or maybe I'm getting that mixed up. I don't even know anymore. The average X3 any percent run takes around 40 to 45 minutes. It's usually somewhere in between there. Give or take about a minute or two. So now it's going to be a little harder to tell who is going to be in the lead until we get to Catfish. Fortunately, no one cycle. Also, unfortunately, Eve actually getting bit in Rhino. Absolutely the worst place to get him, since you take a chance of losing a lot of health to him. Thankfully, he got a pretty much perfect fight given the pattern. Fortunately, Eve actually did not have enough health to use the optimal strat on the mini-boss here, so he just had to fight him pretty much the intended method. Thankfully, the boss, like most X3 nonsense, has an AI loop. No, hold your gasps. You are playing with danger there, Eve. He wants the scap. He smells it. I would much rather live in Oklahoma, DJ. I am very, very big into meteorology. I would love to live in Oklahoma. We're still pretty much almost completely synced up despite the different stages. Not even sure how that happened. I actually don't know. I don't remember if Baldo got bit already, but either way, he did not get him in Rhino, and that's all that matters. I mean, there's just North Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and then South Dakota. All it's just like flat. There's not a whole lot of anything there. I'm not sure what that vert dash there was. So that is... Oof. I actually don't think I've ever seen a death to that boss. Definitely a little odd. I think a pretty good pattern on Tiger here so far. And then Tiger decided he just wanted to be an asshole. And off to Catfish she goes. I definitely approve here, Eve. I definitely approve. This man deserves to win the tournament. Anybody who does that deserves it. That is completely a matter of personal opinion, Speed Racer. In my opinion, my favorite is X3. But I think the most well-made one is X1. It clearly had the most thought put into it. But my favorite will always be X3. It's a very nice 3-drill fight for Eve. Bit of an unfortunate little goof there for Baldo, but that's alright. EaBTasRaiul has struck back with a vengeance. Not really much to talk about that I haven't already said, honestly. I have no idea what to say anymore. As far as the speedrun route goes, it's completely rigid. I mean, obviously it is a Mega Man game. You can go whatever order you want to casually, but as far as the speedrun is, at least for 100%, it is completely set in stone. There's pretty much no way to change it. There is a little bit of variance in any percent as to where you do Tiger. Like, you can place Tiger as pretty much anywhere and around in the run as long as you do him before you fight Vile. Like, there are some runners, like when Louise was really grinding the game hard, he did Tiger second just to get the RNG out of the way. And then you saw, you know, even Baldo did it much later. Eva, I believe, actually did Tiger fourth, and Baldo did him third. Yeah, you need Tiger's weapon to kill Vile. Otherwise, you will not be able to get the saber. You have to kill him with his weakness to make him actually die. Finishing him off with anything else other than the spinning blades or the neon splash will just make him teleport away. I hope. I'm struggling, man. Tired. Unfortunately, Baldo's death did cost him quite a bit of time there. Yeah, there's still plenty of game left to go. Still the oh-so-wonderful Doppler Stage 2. I think I just zoned out there for a second. Behold, the reason why this cartridge wasn't made very much. Because they put a stupid chip in it that made 3D possible. And it made it expensive to produce. Also because no one cared about Mega Man at the time. And the next 4 came out, and suddenly everyone cared again. No, not Mode 7. The CX4 chip is what it's called, I believe. It's pretty much just an extra little processor inside that they stuck inside the cartridges. Yeah, it's pretty much just them shooting, just to have something to do. Because X3's level design is very, well, not good. There are a lot of big, wide open spaces with nothing that you can really do, so they just start shooting or doing random little things, just to pass the time. Yeah, Super FX chip was different. It was much more powerful. They were, I suppose they were similar in a way, but I don't think the CX4 chip was capable of rendering like really basic 3D stuff like wireframes. But the Super FX was just flat out made from the ground up to be a 3D gaming chip. Then again, I could just be talking out my ass. That's just what I understand. I always gotta cover my tracks, man, because I'm wrong like 90% of the time. No, we need a Uniracers tournament, that's what we need. Stunt race, nothing. Oh. Not having the best time there. Thief. Yes, it was. And now it's time for Eve to possibly die. Probably not. It's totally not an attempt to have a commentator's curse kick in, I promise you. And now Eve gets to go to the funnest stage of the game. Wait, I lied. It's not fun. Nobody likes it. This stage really is dicks. It is a planet of dicks floating in an entire galaxy of dicks. Nobody likes it. Wow, he did it again? It's quite a while. The stage can be summed up with one quote. This is dildos. I believe I am starting to fall asleep while standing here. Sitting here, even. I believe I may be starting to go insane. I'm not sure what is going on here. Is this the fabled left side climb? And that's all she wrote. It's close enough to being done to where it wouldn't matter having an ooh. Eve's actually having a little bit of trouble here. I just gotta slap myself in the face. Oh yeah. I love it when it hurts. Please, Baldo, don't you die. He's having a fun time of it right here. There he goes. Oh dear, that's not good. There you go. Yes, it was, Mr. Band-Aid. I gotta wake myself up. I gotta do it for the video games, man. And now Eve is going to be moving on to Saber Rush, which is really just catharsis. Remember all those bosses that took forever? Well, now you can just absolutely slap the living shit out of every single one of them. And boy, does it feel nice. Oh dear. Wow, that was really close. But hey, Baldo got it. I've got this serious. I'm good. I'm good to go. That is not a cry for help. It's totally a cry for help. Sigma is still the big game changer here. Doise is right. And if it goes to a game 3, he said he'll be doing the commentary because I'm gonna pass out. Very nice kill on Catfish. What are these tiny emotes? Let's see if he actually gets the quick kill here. And he does. So, with the way his iframes are glitched, where they don't function, you can actually use the Saber to abuse that iframe glitch as well. Since the Saber hits for 16 damage, it'll hit for 16 damage every frame that he's vulnerable, which is instant death. No, I don't need to worry about that. I just need to worry about weirdos trying to find heroin in my house. Welcome to Ohio. I ain't gotta have shit, boy. No need to worry. I'm not dumb enough to do heroin. And there's the other quick kill you see. Same as Seahorse, you hit him pretty much every frame for 16 damage, and he just instantly dies. Only the finest, X. Only the finest. Good beetle kill. Now we move on to Dr. Doppler, who is an asshole. Nobody liked him because he can heal himself. When he has that green field up, if you hit him with any weapon, he heals himself for twice the amount of damage it does. So a Saber hit is a full heal. Thankfully, if what you hit him with is a guaranteed kill, well, he can't regen from that because his health is at 0. Eve now moving on to the man himself, Smegma. It's not a real run until you get the Saber Gap. Eve knows what's up. Oh dear, he missed that first Saber. Oh dear, he could actually die very easily here. He could take a death here if he's not. In fact, there's a good chance he's going to. Oh dear. Well, that's not good. He is still ahead, but the capital B and 2 T's, but the gap has been significantly closed. There's how that fight is supposed to go. Time to fight Voltron. And there it goes. Unfortunately, Baldo's having about the same luck. Unless something really stupid happens, which I mean, this game, it's a game. Oh hey, the exam. If you fall in the lava and die, I will never forgive you, Eve. And that will be it. Eve has taken game 2 as well, and he has advanced into the semifinals. That was a very, very clutch kill on Kaiser there. GG to both runners. If you're hoping for more X3, then I have some bad news. The next match isn't scheduled until Saturday. I have some more bad news. That match involves me. But the good news is, now you get to go watch Zelda Randomizer. Thank you for sticking around and watching, and thank you for putting up with my insane rambling. I'm going to go pass out now. Oh dear, I'm never staying up like this again.